hopefully someone can hear us. Hello? No one there. Dumaguete's on fire. Actually, when we went out earlier, we should have taken a little spin down there just to see what it was like. Yes, I was in a hurry. Okay. Well, I will plough on for a little while if no one joins us. My fault for not advertising the fact I was going live. Can you hear me okay, sweetie? Of course you can. We got a thumbs up. I don't understand how we got a thumbs up when no one's watching. Did you do that? Oh, we got one here. Was that you, sweets? Yeah. Oh, thank you. There you go. I've got one like and one viewer, and that's my girlfriend. And she is sat over there. So, wait a minute. Andrew Apple's in the house, loud and clear. Very glad you're here, Andrew. Welcome, mate. John Mesters, problems again. Yes, brother. There's something wrong with YouTube. If you look at it now, it was just saying one person was watching, but I had 4 likes. I did the same thing I do every time, and it didn't work. And I did it again, and that worked. So that really wasn't me. Don't know if you saw the first one, but the camera was so zoomed in on my face. Anyway, not my fault this time. Not often I can say that. Just give me a second, chaps, to get my screen up, because I'm straining to read it all the way over there. But thanks to John, I can in his glasses. Hold on a minute. I'm already laughing at that joke. I can read that, but let me get it up, as the actress said to the bishop. I need to get my my live up. Right, we're here. Look at that. 6 likes, warms the cockles of my heart. Oh, here we go. I've got the lives now. Right. Loud and clear, Andrew Apple. John Mesters, problems again, mate. Yes. It's on time. I was going to ask why the long face. Yeah, what was that long face about? I've no idea what that was about. It's never done that before. And now it's taken my chat away. What the hell is wrong with YouTube? It's replaced my chat with an advert. Oh, God, today. You couldn't script it, could you? Now it's back. Jim Pendergast, hi Simon, are you watching the match tonight? No, mate, I'm watching the match in the morning. Boom, boom, boom. Jack Star, Jack, mate, thank you very much, brother. You kicked the door in the house again. It is coming home, mate, it is coming home. John Mesters, 5 thumbs. Is that code for something, John? Jim Pendergast, yes, it's coming home, Jack. Jack Star, hi everyone, hit the like and share the love. Tell you what, Jack, they've beaten you to it tonight, mate. 9 likes and 9 thumbs up. Fantastic. So a few things to talk about tonight. One of them, of course, is England. Another one is how you chaps are getting on. And the other one is the fire that is raging in Dumaguete. Are you know about this, John? Have you been watching Facebook this afternoon? I was going to go down and live stream earlier, and I thought, fuck that, feels a bit too much like work. So I didn't bother. Score predictions for tonight, or this morning. Andrew Apple, the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Andrew Apple, you've not been with us for a while. Was it your first time in the chat? The name's familiar. I've got to shake my tree, pardon the pun, and try and recall. Jack Star 3-2. Hopefully to England. Yeah, I tell you what, it's one of those things that, I mean, I don't fancy our chances just because I always go into that frame of mind because then you're not too disappointed. But I don't know, trying hard not to, because whenever I think we're going to win something, that's England, boxing, anything, it all goes tits up. Whenever I think we're not, we tend to. So I'm trying not to, you know, so I don't want to jinx it. I'm trying not to be too confident. But 3-2, extra time, penalties, it all counts, mate. It all counts. Goes to Pinos. I'm glad you said Pinos. I thought you were going to say something else there. First of all, I thought it was Pinoys, and I thought it was something obscene. But yeah. Andrew Apple made my first comment about 1 week ago. Usually listen only. Well, get involved in the chat, mate. Glad you're back. Yeah, I thought I remembered the name. But I've got a terrible memory, and there are lots of different handles. Anyway, John's not answered my question. Who has heard of the infamous Why Not in Dumaguete? The rumoured place of ill repute that is full of lady boys and ladies of the night. Who is aware of Why Not? Who has been to Why Not? Jim, any win for England will do. I agree entirely, mate. I agree entirely. I got dragged into a conspiracy theory last night when I was out. Ewan reckons the guy who owns the pub sideways where I do the quiz, that because Argentina have had such favourable treatment throughout the World Cup, that FIFA's going to favour us and everyone expects us to get every decision. And I'm like, yeah, I believe that when it happens. Jackstar, yeah, I know it. Any answers to my why not question yet? How's the back, Jack? There you go, that rhymes, doesn't it? I'm a poet and I didn't know it. How's the back, mate? How is the business world going? If no one knows about why not, I'll just shoot to the point. Anyway, there was a very famous nightclub in Dumaguete. Oh no, maybe Jackstar's, yeah, I know it, knows why not. Okay, got ya. Jackstar, let's hope Harry Kane stays up front and stops defending. John Mensers, I've been a regular at Why Not many years ago. Glasston Finger, evening Billy, suffering from lethargy today. Jackstar, back all good, pal, glad to hear about it. It's on time. Why is the crowd not segregated for the game? A bit of blood in the past. Don't know, mate, you'll have to ask the Septics about that. Apparently they're getting really upset. Anyway, coming back to Why Not. Yeah, it's I've not been there for about probably coming up to a year now. It's one of those places where not many locals go because it's got a bad reputation. Well, not a bad reputation, but it's basically a place where you can hook up with ladies of the night and lady boys and all. But it's quite famous. There is a crowd in there. It's one of the most famous things about Dumaguete. Anyway, it's gone up in flames. It's on fire. Don't know what caused it, but I was watching it all afternoon and it looks like it's proper gone. They had live streams down there. It's like the roof's gone through, trying to stop other houses and offices on the boulevard. Yeah, big fire, mate. Yeah, I was watching a thing on the news this morning and they were saying, like, in England, we're looking forward to the game and we want to win it, obviously, but we're not thinking of the Falklands. Apparently in Argentina, they've got demonstrations and that, you know, and everyone's, there's a lot of bad blood on their side. Don't think there's much on our side. As the guy on the news said, if you ask the average teenager in the UK what the Falklands was, they wouldn't bloody know. But if you ask your average Argentinian kid the same age, they're very unhappy about it. So yeah, it has the potential to be a bit tasty. And if it is going to be a bit tasty, I hope Ewan's right about that theory that the referees are going to favour us. I can't believe it. John Mesters, haven't been there in years though. Plaster Finger, been hearing about a shooting near you yesterday. Another shooting? There seems to be a hell of a lot, mate. Hell of a lot. I mean, for the safest city in the Philippines, we seem to have a... How long ago is that shooting in Sibulan? No, there was one about 5-6 months ago. 4 people were shot by a copper in a bar. But there you go. I didn't know.
Yesterday was an American.
Yes, there was an American. Oh dear. We might know him. Does it say the name? What, in Dumaguete?
Yeah. In Sibulan, they live in Sibulan.
I know a few Americans that live in Sibulan. I'll have to look into that afterwards. It's end of time, friction burns. Boom. Could have been, mate, could have been. Don't know why it would burn down in the afternoon. But it is a nightclub. I mean, but it has got a restaurant and that. John Mesters, I had no idea about Why Not. I was at Octagon in the afternoon. Yes, mate, it looks like it's gone. Ellen told me about 3 o'clock. Look at this. And there were loads of people live streaming it. But it looked bad. They had a drone that had gone up. The whole of the back roof was on fire and You can see it was all wafting into the apartments behind it and that. I doubt that will open again. If it does, it won't open for a long time.
Are you sure?
John Mester's just seen it on Facebook now. Ellen's saying, are you sure? Why, you think they can fix that quickly?
No, he wants to come out.
Oh, right, I thought you meant, okay.
After a few minutes, he wants to come in again.
Thanks 1138YA. I'm going to call you thanks from now on. Your house looks very tidy. Mine is full of a lifetime of clutter. Where's all your accumulated crap? How would I accumulate crap, mate? I have been when I left the Philippines, Thailand, I left with a suitcase. When I arrived in the Philippines, I arrived in a suitcase. Where would I accumulate crap? I just don't anymore. I used to. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I left the UK, I left a lot of stuff behind. But since I've last 15 years, I just don't buy things like ornaments and stuff like that anymore. You know, what's the point? So yeah, don't have a lot. Don't have a lot, and sadly. And what little I have, I've lost over the years. Really annoying thing, when I was in Thailand, I bought some, when I was going back, I had a permanent place there. I was bringing stuff back, photographs from my Air Force days and bits and bobs. But then when we split up, I lost all that. So there you go. Jim Pendergast, 3 o'clock kickoff here. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. here as well, mate. It'll be 3 a.m. everywhere in the Philippines. I believe he was a doctor, 73 maybe. Well, if he was American, he must have been retired. It's end of time. His name was Kent Carpenter, a marine biologist, I think. Very sad one. Yeah, knew nothing about that, mate. Knew nothing about that. Very sad. It's always sad when someone loses their life. Yeah, no, I will wander over to the Octagon to watch the football, but at a respectable hour. God, last Saturday, we went out for dinner at a restaurant in, where did we go? Darwin. A place called the Treehouse, which was quite nice. Ellen didn't like it, but I thought it was all right. But a few of us went out. Mate of mine, Alex, organised it. So the idea was, I looked at it. I saw the place closed at 9:30. So I thought, closed at 9, booked for 7:30. I thought, that would be all right. Go there, be back for about 9:30, have a couple of hours kip, set me alarm for 2, go and watch the England game. But as soon as we got there, a couple of drinks, Alex is like, we're going to stay out all night or what? So we did. So we stayed out from 6:30 until the England game. Yeah. I think I left about 9 o'clock, which, we had 14 hours on it. I can't really do that anymore. I felt lousy the next day. That compiled with the incredibly spicy meal I'd had the day before, I have not been feeling good the last couple of days. Jack Star, so what's the update on the AC and the tight ass landlord? Yeah, I'm going to get to the bottom of that soon. John, have you looked into that house, mate? Might be moving. Jim, we have a load of crap here and London bloody Nora. Oh, right, with the old accumulated clutter and things. Yeah, I don't, you know, yeah. But, I mean, Ellen's bought the odd thing. When we went to Vietnam, we bought little things back. I mean, she's got a Vietnamese hat, or whatever you call it, hanging on the wall and things. But no, we don't have much. But that was, till I actually build a place or buy a place or rent someone a long-term lease, I'm not, like, encouraged to get things and that, because it's such a pain when you move, you know what I mean? I mean, everything here, even the bottles behind the minibar, behind the bar, they're all came with the house. They're all empty. Don't have alcohol in the house. But no update, mate. No update, Jack, on the old aircon. Still not working. And we're getting to the 2-week mark now. By the weekend, I'll kick up a fuss. I mean, it's one thing not being able to get someone out to do it. I feel his pain. I was trying. But I don't know what he quoted the guy. But he should have, you know, once they're here, I mean, just pay it for God's sake. I mean, it's outrageous, really. But I don't feel the heat. I had John and Joe round. They were on the live on Saturday. And we finished it. I was really fine. They're straight outside. Couldn't take the heat. I wanted to cool down. I didn't even feel hot. So, I mean, that's part of the problem. It doesn't really bother me, no aircon. Billy says some of the most important trinkets are a Berlin Wall. A piece, oh, you missed a P out, okay. Piece of the Berlin Wall that was collected the night the wall fell. A Bronze Age style sword. What are you doing? Good Lord. We've got the cat climbing up under the thing. Can you take the cat out?
Come here, Mommy. Come here, Mommy. Let's go to the bedroom.
Where have I got with that? Bronze Age style swords I made from scratch and a little figurine. Quote the Raven. There you go. Are you into your fantasy stuff then? You know, with your swords and all that. A Bronze Age style sword. There you go. I'm going to guess you're a Game of Thrones fan. Okay, Billy. Do you see expats in Duma compared to 12 months ago? Do you see more expats in Duma compared to 12 months ago? No. But as I don't know if you watched that video I did the other day, Billy, when I took a walk into town and I walked around and I showed, I think we walked around for half an hour, saw 4 Westerners. There are not as many Westerners as people think. And certainly in the circles I move in, you know, like the places I go to and that, they're not the touristy spots. They're like, you know, they are the expat places. So all the people I socialise in with are, you know, living here. It's only really, I don't really go to the tourist spots. I'd have to be spending more time in the tourist spots to be able to tell you that, mate. I've noticed some new faces over the last like 6 months, but they're new people in that time. I know a few people who have gone. So it's like, you know, there's a regular turnaround. So whether there's more or not, I'm not sure, mate, to be honest with you. Jim Pendergast, no bar showing match here, watching at a Swiss friend's house. Well, if you're watching it at a Swiss friend's house, mate, you might as well get an Argentinian over because the Swiss guy's going to be neutral. Swiss guy's watching it, is he? I had a few of my friends last night. They messaged me and said, are you going to come and watch the France game? And I was like, no. Why on earth would I want to go and watch that at 3 o'clock in the morning? So I didn't. Andrew G is in the house. Evening, Simon. So nice to have company of lovely Evan. Come on, England. Welcome, Andrew. Always better when you're in the chat, mate. How are things in your neck of the woods? Yeah, come on, England. Come on, England. I'm starting to. Yeah, it's a mixture of trepidation and excitement. It's like I like to think of myself as positive, but I'm quite negative. When I think of us winning, I just think how disappointed I'll be if we lose the final. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like that. When something fantastic happens, it takes a while for it to sink in. It's actually happened in my little world. Jack Star, well, carpet's getting fitted tomorrow at my daughter's house, then furniture Monday, I think, or hope. Getting the carpet. How did that go then? Did she just say, I want this, and you signed a blank check, Jack? Or I know you said she was going to choose, but did you have to go around the carpet places and that with her? I mean, or was it just like, you know, what I'm saying is how hands-on were you in the process? I know you were funding the exercise, but... okay, Billy, what type of expat is suited to Duma? Is it more suited for couples? No, it depends on the person. I mean, it's... Duma's not really suited for it. It's whether you're suited for Duma. I mean, there are... The majority of guys who live here are in relationships. But that just means the single guys have more single women to choose from. And let's face it, as John will confirm, I mean, there are, and I am not in this group at all, but there are a lot of guys over here who do play around and frequently get caught. And amazingly, often we're ladyboys. So, I mean, just because people are in couples here does not mean that the guys, or even the girls for that matter, are always being honest in their actions. But no, it is more geared up to a relationship, I think. But that's probably my age. You know, if I was living here now, and I was in my 20s and my 30s, I think I'd be having a hell of a time down, you know, like the local Filipino clubs and that, you know. You'd be able to clean up, pardon the term, if you went to like, you know, the tiki bar, the hide, scoot, you know, there's so many options. But those days are kind of behind me now. I mean, I will go down there once in a blue moon, like when Frankie, my mate, comes down, you know, I hit the town, you know, relive the old days. But I'm not interested in doing that on a regular thing. Like I say, 15 hours on it the other day has done me in. So, but I mean, yes, what I'm saying is the people here are predominantly in relationships. That's what's brought them here. But, you know, you can live here very happily singly too. I would suggest more so than you could in a lot of other cities. Okay, Billy, an old vlog I saw indicates there is more traffic in central Duma. More traffic than what? I mean, yeah, the traffic is... I mean, Duma's not too... I mean, it's like... It's a very... If you haven't lived in Asia and you haven't spent your time like in bigger cities, you will probably be... The traffic can probably be quite daunting. But once you get used to it, then it's fine, really. I mean, there are certain times of day when the traffic people are out, because there's no rhyme nor reason to it, but certain times of day, certain days of the week, you'll get like, you know, lollipop men without the lollipop, and they're like, you know, every few hundred metres stopping traffic, and it just causes chaos. And that's the most dangerous time, because they seem incapable of saying stop and then come forward. They'll call traffic, you know, but when that's not happening, it's not bad, you know. It's anyway, I've got to be careful what I say at the moment, because I will talk about it in my next vlog. But there seems to be there might be a crackdown about to come on the expat community from the powers that be. I'll explain more shortly. It's end of time. Jim, there was a nice film about Poe's time in West Point out a while back. Don't know if you saw it. Poe's time in West Point. Well, I hope Jim knows what you're talking about, because I haven't got a clue, mate. Poe's West Point. West Point is in the military academy. I'm completely lost here. Jack Star, has the disruptive new septics quietened down? France was shite last night, Spain playing them off the park. Hope England give it a go and not sit back. I think they will give it a go. It was a bit worrying if you saw the Bellingham interview where he said, you know, because I like the fact that Tuchel wasn't happy, because I mean, we won it, but he wants perfection. He thinks they can play better. Didn't like it when Bellingham said, when they told him, actually, whatever, he can say whatever he wants. But I don't think there's a bad blood there. But yeah, it has been very disappointing in some of the games when they don't stick it up them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, get stuck in. But I don't think they will. I think they'll go. They've got to be in. The heart's got to be in it. I think you got more worried about nerves in a game like this than. But it is a worry if it gets tasty, because I don't believe the conspiracy theory, and you know, I don't think it's outrageous to suggest that our Latin brothers do like a dive, but we will see. Jackstar, mate, did Dad just pays? I gave my opinion, but I don't have to live there. Okay, Billy, are there nightclubs? Yes, there are nightclubs. There might be one less nightclub after the fire today, or there will be one less nightclub. Yeah, there are nightclubs. The three biggest are Why Not, but that's mainly a place for, I'd say, Western tourists and certain expats who have a certain persuasion. I mean, it's a strange thing about Why Not. The few times I've been there aren't many bars or clubs I can go into where I don't know people. Because it's quite a small community here. And a couple of times I've been to Why Not in the last 2 years, I've not known a soul. So you find yourself sitting there looking at people thinking, where are you from? Who are you? And you can tell by the way they dress and the way they act, they've been in Dumaguete a long time. But again, I'm not trying to put Why Not down. I don't care about, you know, lady boys and that kind of thing. But I don't think it would be outrageous to suggest that around 50 to 60 to 70% of the women there are ladyboys. So I think the guys that go there tend to be looking for ladyboys. Why am I talking about this? What was I've lost my train of thought. Why am I talking about ladyboys again? Yeah, so anyway, so that's, yeah. Why was it anyway? So but that might have gone in a fire, but that's probably not the place you'd be going to anyway. I mean, I say none of the locals I know ever go there. We all used to at one stage when we first arrived, but once you get to know people, because it's famous, and you go and you think you're going to make friends and things, but you don't. And then you meet other people, and they say they used to go there in the early days. So everyone went there at one time. I think it used to be better, I'm told, but it's always not been so great since I've been there. But anyway, yeah. Take that one out of the side. That is the famous one. You've got the Tiki Bar, which is up at the North Point, which is probably the second biggest. And then you've got like an exclusive bar, VIP bar next to that, which is also a club, but it's a pricier one called the Hyde. If you pay to get in the Hyde, you get VIP entrance to the Tiki Bar. And there's a few other little ones scattered around the city, but they're mainly Filipino places. That's why I like them. And Bahia is supposed to be the one to go to nowadays. I haven't actually been there. It's a restaurant. It's a really nice restaurant. Probably the premier restaurant in Dumaguete, should we say, in terms of the prices and the service and things. Not my favourite. I think there are, but the service is fantastic there. But yeah, after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, I'm not sure what the time is, the restaurant shuts and it becomes a nightclub. And they do like, I think they do all-inclusive cocktails or something like that. But the last couple of times my friends come down from Manila, we've gone to get there and like the queue's so long and there's like half-hour wait and things. But it's supposed to be really good. So there's three off the top of my head. So yeah, there are, and there's lots more. There'll be more that have opened because, I say, my mate Frank used to know the area a lot better than me because he was a DJ, and he took me some places I'd never even heard of, which were quite busy. So I mean, there's lots. But I say you will be very few Westerners there, and I love that. I love that. But I mean, there you go. All right, let's get back up there. Okay, Billy, I don't have a motorcycle license. What are some of the options to commute around Duma? Trikes, mate, trikes. I mean, the clubs I've always told you about, all of those are along the boulevard. They're about, I mean, the Hyde and Tiki Bar and the Bahia are all within 200 metres of each other. They're about 2.5 miles, at least 2.5 kilometres, I'd say, or 2 kilometres, 3, I don't know. Anyway, they're a bit of a trek from Why Not, but you got tricycles go up and down night. It's only 20 pesos. You just jump in, they'll take you there. You'll be using trikes, mate. And they're all over the city, and it's incredibly cheap. I think it's 15 or 20 pesos for the first 2 kilometres. Adam Fenton, hey Simon, good to catch you live. Hope all is well. All is well, Adam. All is well when you're in the house. Glad you're here. Glad Jack's here. Glad Jim's here. I'm glad you're all here. But it's nice that some of the original guys who haven't been in for a while are back. Where are we now? Adam the myth, the legend in the house. Yes, you are a living legend, Adam. A living legend. Adam Fenton, Jackstar, hope you're good, my man. Jim, I don't know either about Poe's comment. Well, it was the apostrophe that got me. Is it Poe's? Is it belongs to Poe's? Or is it actually Poe's? Yeah, I don't get it. Oh, Edgar Allan Poe. It's in the time Edgar Allan Poe, the poet. You have a quote. Oh, The Raven. Yeah, The Raven is a Gothic poem by... Yeah, you're getting the people mixed up, mate. Yeah, The Raven is a Gothic poem by Edgar Allan Poe. Probably the most famous Gothic poem of that period. That would be late 1800s, I think. Yeah, I didn't put that, but it wasn't... If you're talking about the quote about The Raven, that wasn't Jim. That was Billy who's got the quote, not Jim. I did not know Edgar Allan Poe was a poet. I know Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Raven. I know he wrote the first... he's credited with writing the first whodunit. Trying to think what it was called. It was something baths. It was set in a public baths. But Edgar Allan Poe is credited with that, the first ever whodunit novel. I think it was a short story. Anyway, there you go. That's about as far as my Edgar Allan Poe knowledge goes. Yeah, yeah. I think it's because if you'd said that and you put Billy, I'd have probably triggered what you were talking about. Because it was the Jim, I'm thinking Jim hasn't said it. Why? Yeah, now it makes sense. Adam Fente, did you guys see the post of the Bangkok nightclub fire? Crazy footage. No, we haven't, mate. Have you seen footage of the Dumaguete nightclub fire? There's a fire raging now at the oldest nightclub in the town. Well, I assume it's raging now. It was going off about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and it didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon. Would not be surprised if it took a few of the places, you know, surrounding establishments with it. I imagine it's the kitchen, because that bar part's not open. Because the way it works there, it's got like a little restaurant. It's got a delicatessen on one side. Then it's got like a restaurant, and you've got some seats outside. Then you go through these big silver doors, and it takes you indoors, what basically a throwback disco. But it's got a pool hall on the other side. I mean, you can do everything in that place. I don't think it's open during the day, though. But maybe it is. Maybe you can play pool. I've only ever gone there in the evenings. But I imagine it's the kitchen that's caught fire. But don't know, maybe it's faulty lighting equipment, who knows? But it's a bad fire. Andrew G. Kane needs to keep on his feet more. The Argentinians flop more than LeBron James. Yeah, he does, mate, he does. Okay, Billy, thanks, buddy. Pleasure, Billy. Jim Pentagraph, is under time. Sorry, still do not understand. Edgar Allan Poe was a poet. Billy said the 3 things that he possessed that were important to him was a piece from the Berlin Wall, a bronze sword. I feel like I'm playing the generation game now, or doing a cognitive test, one of Trump's cognitive tests, and a quote. And the quote was from an Edgar Allan Poe poem called The Raven. So that's what It's End Time was referring to, but he said Jim instead of Billy by mistake. So that's what it's all about, mate. I hope I have cleared that up. The plastered finger, It's End of Time. It was put, it was with me, the quote, the rave, but he's Pratchett, not Poe. So it's not a Terry Pratchett poem. So I know the poem The Raven in sense I know of it. I've never read it. I've used it in quizzes a couple of times. You know, who wrote, and it's one everyone gets, you know, who wrote Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, or what was Frankenstein's original name? Because it wasn't called Frankenstein to start off with. It was called something Prometheus. The Modern Prometheus, I think it was called to start off with. Or that was an alternative title. But I've never read The Raven. It's End of Time. Thanks. Okay, Jim. Looks like the tiki bars and football are the topics of the day, my friend. Timmy Wimmy's in the house. He's too intellectual on here for me. Sorry, mate. I will lower the tone for you straight away. We'll get right down there. It's End of Time. Oh, sorry, plaster finger. Need my glasses. There you go. We're all sorted now. John Mesters. The Pale Blue Eye is the movie about Edgar Allan Poe. It's about this time at the military academy. I've never heard of The Pale Blue Eye. So there you go. Is it a modern film, an old film? Never heard of it. The Plaster Finger, The Raven was the first film with Jack Nicholson, I think. Terry Pratchett did a film with Jack Nicholson. I'm getting very confused now. There was a question in the quiz the other night when we were going for the millionaire. We lost on the last question. Was it the last question? Was it the last question we went out on? Pissed off, because I think it was 8,000 pesos. But one of them was Discworld, who wrote that. We got that Terry Pratchett. The one we went out on was what was the 6th book of the Bible. Very upset about that. It was Joshua. Did not know that. I knew the first book was Genesis, then it's Exodus. I knew the last one was Revelations. But I didn't know it was... I can't remember what I went with now. I think I went with Job. But anyway, annoying to go out in a question like that. The Plastered Finger, The Raven... Timmy with me. Can we talk about Bill and Ben or the Magic Roundabout? I used to love the Magic Roundabout. I used to love Dougal. Yeah, brilliant, the Magic Roundabout. Haven't thought about that in years. It's End of Time. Sorry, guys, I'll get my coat. Well, make sure you close the door after you, please, mate. Jim Pendergast, forgiven, it's End of Time. Of course, we are a very forgiving crowd here. So, yeah, I will do a video on it soon. Although Ellen's warning me not to, saying I shouldn't do it. I'm not going to name anyone, but yeah, quite worrying. The Vice Governor of Dumaguete made a speech yesterday. I did a press conference basically saying that he'd had enough of rude expats, rude Westerners who were shouting at other pedestrians and getting drunk and behaving badly. And he wants a crackdown, he wants it stopped. And he'll be using his influence to speak to immigration and the police and things. Now, when I first heard this, I thought it was the Vice Mayor of Darwin. That's what Ellen told me. And I'm thinking, well, that's Darwin. It's not Dumaguete, and he's not even the mayor. But then I looked into it, and it's the Vice Governor, who's basically that second from head honcho in on the island, or Negros Occidental anyway. So, yeah, I don't like the sound of that. I don't like where it's going. I can agree entirely, though, in some of the stuff he's saying. I'm not going to get too political. I mean, you do get some rude expats here. And I do think it's unacceptable to shout your mouth off in traffic, whatever your nationality. I'm going to try not, but then again, you think of all the problems in Dumaguete, like, people driving without helmets, drunk driving, poverty, street people. Are Westerners the biggest problem? Anyway, I've got to watch what I say. If he's cracking down, the last thing I want to do is be giving people a reason to crack down on me, do I? But yeah, it's I've seen this all before in Thailand. We've done that when the tide turns, and you can get people elected a manifest like that. The Plastered Finger quotes the Raven is a character from Terry Pratchett, the equivalent death's horse ridden by the grim Squeaker, the death owed rats. Well, there you go. No need to rub it in, mate. It's End of Times already apologised, Bill, and I'm worried we're going to lose Tim. Yeah, I don't think you can call quoting Terry Pratchett academia, though, to be honest with you. He's a great writer, fantasy writer. But, yeah, I like it. Never read a Terry Pratchett book. I don't really read anymore. I used to read a lot. But when my eyesight went, I find even with glasses on planes and that, after I've read for a couple of hours, like half an hour, 40 minutes, I'm going to say, the lines just kind of like wiggle. So I tend not to these days. I like audio books. I tend to watch films more these days. Plastered Finger, sorry. No need to apologise, Plastered Finger. No, never need to be sorry on this channel. Unless you miss one of my videos, then you have to be very apologetic. What am I going to go through score-wise tonight? No, I don't know. And am I going to go out a bit early? I said I didn't want a late night, but I'm starting to think it's going to be a long wait till 3. And I didn't get up till... Why did I such... Why? I slept all day today. It was the weirdest thing. I woke up at about... I didn't go to bed till about 4. My insomnia's back. So I was just doing stuff on my laptop. And then I fell asleep and I woke up at 2 o'clock. I had a blinding migraine, like the eyes are very well you wake up with the eyes going. So I went back to sleep. So I've been asleep all day. So I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Still got to finish off the quiz. But I might get on the lash. I might go down to the native about midnight. I don't know. The problems I have. Andrew G. Homer read The Raven on The Simpsons. When you said Homer read The Raven, I thought you were talking about Ulysses. I'm sitting there thinking, he can't have read The Raven. It's like, when was Homer? 500 BC? That's like, you're 2,500 years too late when I was being Homer Simpson. Adam Fente, hopefully no armbands required to prove a good expat. But being realistic, if the mayor does anything by the law, all should be well. Besides basic civics, I don't think there should be issues. Yeah, but it's not the mayor, mate. It is the vice governor. So he is like, second only to the governor. But when I looked at it, what his responsibilities are dealing with new laws and new initiatives and things. And he said several times in the live stream that he was going to use his influence to ensure that the police and immigration deal with situations. If he's saying he's going to let people misbehave, he's going to kick them out, then fantastic. If he's saying he's going to crack down on visa, approvals and things and cutting the periods and not being as lenient, then that's a worry. But then again, I don't know if he's got the power to do that, because I would assume that's on a national level. I mean, you know, I don't know. But either way, it's the first time I've heard it in the Philippines. You heard that a lot in Thailand. You heard it a lot in Cambodia at one stage. I mean, that's the trouble, you know. Feelings can change, resentment can build, and then people can be scapegoated. I hope it's not going that way. But we will see. And in fact, some expats are acting poorly here in Vietnam this year. I'm hoping that their poor behaviour doesn't impact me. Yeah, you will, to be honest with you, on the whole, the bad behaviour here really does seem to be expats on expats. I've seen the odd expat acting rudely to staff in bars and things, which I cannot abide that kind of behaviour. But, you know, don't really see expats getting in confrontations with Filipinos and things, which is why I was a bit surprised. But I do know some people who shout at other people in the traffic and that. I mean, and I hate that. I don't, like I said to Ellen, I've never done that. You know, I don't see it. You know, if you've got something, you know, look, you know what I mean? If you're gonna do it, sort it out man to man. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get on. You know what I'm saying? This fake road rage and, like, you know, keyboard warriors and, you know, traffic warriors, when they're like, you know, there was one guy once when I went into I shouldn't say, I'm going to sound like one of those terrible expats, but I turned into what do they call it? LB Hyper, and I went down the wrong way. And I didn't realise it was the wrong way. Ever since I realised it was the wrong way, I go the other way in. But this particular time, I went down the wrong way, and this guy came past, a Westerner, wound his window down and started shouting abuse at me for going the wrong way. So I'm like, you know, I was surprised, realised I'd gone the wrong way, but then I just said, well, what's it got to fucking do with you? You know what I mean? And, like, then he slams his brakes on, because and then came back again, and he started mouthing off and effing and blinding about me, like, and I'm like taking my helmet off. So I just said, like, you know, fuck off. But then I thought about it, because it's like a bit like, I get wound up by things after the fact. And then he went round, I see him go round, and he went round, he parked up in the car park. So I thought, I'm not having this. So I took my helmet over, and I thought, right, I went over to the truck, and I went round the side so he couldn't see me. I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to bang on the window and say, listen, mate, don't talk to me like that, you know what I mean? But he must have seen me, because he drove off and then he went out the car park. But that was, you know, that's the only time. And I say, I would never have shouted first, you know what I mean? And if it had been a Filipino, I've been shouted at by Filipinos a couple of times, you know, I just laugh it off. But anyway, yeah, that's not a very good thing. But yeah, I don't know why people do stuff like that. You know, get so angry. I mean, why the hell does he care? Yeah, I shouldn't have gone down the one way. But who made him chief of fucking police? Why was he bothered? I didn't affect him in any way. It's literally, and I say, ever since I've realised that, but the trouble is, like, you got this turn, there isn't a no entry sign on the road, and you see all the Filipinos turning in there, so, you know, and it's where you park the bikes. Plus, I've always gone round to this. I don't intentionally break rules. It was an accident. I think it was Australian. So if it had been a Filipino, I'd have said, fair cop, very sorry. You know, if it had been a police, but some overweight Australian, you know, does not have the right to abuse me for infringing on a traffic regulation by accident. Don't you agree? But as I say, he left anyway. Never seen him since. I wouldn't recognise him now. I wouldn't recognise him now. My chat has died up. No one's talking to me. Adam Fenter, yeah, some expats bring in trouble to paradise. Big egos get checked in time, so it's better you let it go. Yeah, but it tends to be like, you know, it's a blunt instrument, isn't it? When they get the hump, they tend to, you know, a lot of people get smashed in the crash, don't they? I mean, it's like, you know, how do you pick? I mean, yeah, to be honest with you, it's blown my mind, some of the people I know of over here who have been, I mean, there's a couple of guys, these are not friends of mine. They're not people I dislike, but they're not people I socialise with. They're people I've said hello to, you know, chatted or whatever. And both two individuals have been arrested twice each One of them got arrested for not having enough money to pay for a meal. Apparently it was a genuine mistake, but they kept him in overnight. And another night he got arrested for being drunk, and they kept him in overnight. And when you hear this, and another guy in a bar the other week, I mean, you know, you hear this, you think, well, why are they renewing their visas? I mean, because when you get your visa done, they do a check to make sure you're not in trouble or anything like that. It does make you wonder why people who keep getting in trouble, and I'm not trying to get them in trouble, so I'm not naming them, I'm not making any judgment, I'm just saying it puzzles me when you hear these horror stories. Talking of which, did anyone see about that guy who split up with his girlfriend in, I think it's Davao, and he's in prison now for splitting up with his girlfriend? I'll come back to that in a minute. Jim Pendergrass, have not seen any road rage here, unlike in the UK. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. You know, I've never seen it. But I know some people that do it. I've had friends of mine, they say they had a go at this Filipino because they didn't have lights or something like that. And I always say nothing, and or I'll say like, well, who gave you lights? It's the fucking Philippines, mate, chill out. And what always makes me laugh is the people who complain about the traffic, 9 times out of 10 are sitting there having a couple of beers. You know, it's everyone else's fault. You know, they don't know how to drive, but they'll get on a bike and drink drive. You know, it's like, you know, here's free as sin cast the first stone kind of scenario. You know, I see stuff on these roads, I curse to myself under my breath, or I say to Ellen, you know, can you believe that? You know, I don't get upset about it. It is what it is. You know, and I have not been put in charge of road enforcement. Jackstar, sounds like Why Not is a proper sausage fest. Think they should change the name to Bratwurst Bangers. Mate, I tell you, I think that's why it's called Why Not. You know, I said that to people. A load of people said I'm wrong. I said, I'm telling you that's why it's called Why Not. Because it's like you sit there, you had a beer, you see Ladyboy and say, why not? Anyway, I might have said it before. Some of my friends went to Bangkok. Well, they went to Thailand. They had a week in Bangkok and a week in Pattaya, and we didn't go that year. We went to Cebu, and they sent some pictures. There was a Ladyboy bar called Why Not in Bangkok, quite a big one apparently. So yeah, I think that's why it's called Why Not. But a lot of people have told me I'm wrong, but I don't know. John Mesters, I've seen foreigners being more demeaning, demanding and belligerent over the years. It's definitely a negative trend. Yeah, it is. It is. And to be honest with you, it's the kind of thing that we shouldn't tolerate. I mean, the few times I've seen trouble here, like, you know, a couple of Americans in a bar rolling around on the ground. You know, I don't take any interest in it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going to name the bars or whatever, the owners, they can sort it out. You know what I mean? But I have a couple of times. If I see a Westerner having a go at a Filipino, I have done it a couple of times, but I've not got funny. I've just said, like, you know, who do you think you're talking to? You know, be polite. Well, why do you think you've got the right to talk to them like that? So yeah, I think I would probably pull someone up if I saw them doing that, because it's unacceptable. But then again, you know, I want a quiet life. You know what I mean? But not in our circle of friends, Adam. Although I'll tell you now, not Adam, sorry, John. Again, I'm trying not to say names, but someone who is in our circle of friends did tell me the other day that one of our friends had a right go at a member of staff in one of the establishments, and like he said he was surprised, and I was like, I wish you hadn't told me that, because that kind of behaviour changes my opinion of someone. But so I mean, it goes on. But I like to think if I was there, I would, or one of us would, like, you know, stop them, because these people are not paid enough to be abused. You know, it's not right. Joey Stanley, hey mate, can't find my reading glasses, but wanted to check in. Well, you did very well for a blind man, mate. Perfect grammar. Welcome on board, Jerry. John Mesters, even some of the vloggers are getting more disrespectful towards penise the Philippines. That's not good. It's bloody stupid as well if you're vlogging it. RLV, when talking to locals, speak slowly to avoid miscommunication. Well, there's an element of that, but listen, tell you today, I've got a friend coming around at 7 in the morning to do the boiler. to set the generator up. So I had to go and get some fuel and some oil. We go to a place for oil. I mean, this is typical Philippines. I'm not belittling the Philippines. It's what the Philippines like. Doesn't matter how slow you talk, mate. But don't get me wrong. I do talk slowly when I talk to Filipinos. But when I'm going to buy something which has the potential to be complicated, I bring Ellen. And we had to get some oil. So we go to this motor shop, spare parts place. And we needed, I think it was 1530W, preferably non-synthetic. But I wanted natural or I wanted semi-synthetic. But I asked if it was semi-synthetic or was it natural. I didn't want synthetic. So she gives me a semi-synthetic and says it's semi. I looked at it and said it's synthetic. And she said, oh no, it's synthetic, okay. And then Ellen said, is it 4-stroke or 2-stroke? So Ellen asked the woman again and she says 2-stroke. So do you have any 4-stroke? And she says no. So I'm like, shit. And I looked at it and it's got 4T on the top of it. So I said to Ellen, Google what 4T means, because it must be 4-stroke, because why would it have 4T? I'm sure 4T means 4-stroke. So she Googled it, and lo and behold, it was 4-stroke. Now, this wasn't me doing the communication. I'm talking to Ellen, and this woman's working behind the counter, and she's got 3 mechanics, doing work. One would assume that she would ask them if it was synthetic or if it was 4-stroke or whatever. But she just said blanket no. So I nearly handed it back and went to get something. So, I mean, doesn't matter what, how you talk in some of the situations over here. It's just, I'm saying Ellen asked the questions and we were getting the wrong answers. And I say I can understand not knowing, but for the life of me, I do not understand why she didn't ask the mechanics whether it was 4-stroke or whatever, because I and I could read it myself on the thing that it was synthetic. But anyway, there you go. Adam Fente, to be honest, after Vitali bought his way out, that's the moment I gave up on PH being civics based. That's the way I see it. It's the law of the jungle and things went downhill. I can pay my way out. Yeah, I think there's but it's all about levels. You can buy yourself out of trouble in any country in the world, mate, including the good old US of A. It just costs more in certain countries than it does in others. I mean, that is the reality of it. Living the life. Hey, Simon, Sean's in the house. Welcome, Sean. Just checking in. What are we talking about? A-holes. They are everywhere at all times. Yeah, they are, mate. They are. Adam Fente, not ideal, but that's the way I see it. So I will keep it in mind for when I eventually visit PH again. Yeah, it's coming back to this girlfriend who was jailed. Classic example of why I don't really watch other vlogs. Mate of mine sent me a thing the other day. Have you seen this? This is shocking. You should watch this or something like that. And it was, I don't even know what the channel was. And it was some guy doing a narration about some guy called Ray who used to work for a company who he couldn't say because of a disclosure agreement, who'd been arrested and was in a prison. And like, you're sitting there thinking, this is all bullshit. You're making this story up. It's like that idiot who did the one with the knives in the door. What's his name? That he's living in Dumaguete now. These people, they just make up. I said, if it was true, I would believe it. But there was no way what he was saying was true. People just make up these terrible stories about, you're going to end up in prison for this, you're going to end up for that. It really is not a thing. I know some people who have got away with some shocking things over here. And nothing's happened to them. They've had their visa renewed. It's like, so many horror stories. And so many people like that. I can't remember what the channel was. I'm not going to promote this video. But you could just tell within 2 minutes, it was bullshit. No names, no dates, no thing, just like, this horrific thing. And it's, anyway, I'm trying to think what the name of that guy's thing was. But he basically said this woman had tried to kill his girlfriend like 6 months ago in this building. And he had the knives were still in the wall. And like, you could see they'd just been stuck like that. It was just, and why are they still in there? It was just so much crap. Hold on, where are we going now? Plaster Finger met one of the most disrespectful septic tanks, the other sad, in the supermarket the other day. What, the disrespectful septic, the other sad? Sat, I bet that's a sat. In the supermarket the other day, rude and bullying to staff and shouting across 3 tables to me. I had to leave. Yeah. Jim Pendergrass, off now, early night, ready for a match later. Good night. Oh yeah, take care, Lucky, mate. Be good, Jim. Love the Nora. Living the life, Sean says, 100% on likes. Nice going. Good. Glad to hear that. Thanks, that's cheered me up. RLV. Your English is very different from American English. So speak slowly to avoid miscommunication again. Yeah, I do. Just to clarify, I am aware I have an accident. I am aware I have a strong accent. I do speak a lot more slowly when I am talking to Filipinos. But as I said, I tend to, when I'm going out for things like today, I take Ellen and I go through it with her. She was rehearsed. So the miscommunication we had today was not me talking to the Filipino. It was Ellen talking in Visayan to the Filipino. So it was nothing to do with my pronunciation of 4-stroke or 2-stroke or thingy stroke. It was a case of Ellen saying, doesn't it have to be 4-stroke? To me saying yes, and her saying to the girl, it needs to be 4-stroke. Is it 4-stroke? So there is no way the miscommunication today was caused by my accent. It had played no part in it whatsoever. The part that played a part in it, I think it's a bit of a saving face thing over here. People don't like to say they don't know, which I can relate to, or they don't like to say they don't understand. So they tend to say yes or no to avoid, I think it's that. But as I say, the miscommunication I'm talking about had nothing to do with me. I'd given Ellen a screenshot, I'd explained to her, because we do that now, because sometimes we have miscommunication. So before we went out, I said, right, we need oil. Typed in what it was, said, right, we don't really want synthetic, but we'll have to take it if we can. It must be 15 to etc. Got to get 1 litre, got to be 2 strokes. So that was not me. But I hear you're right, I do have an accent, but a lot of the times we have miscommunications, the worst times I can think of, I'm generally out with Ellen and it's over meals and things. A classic example being the other day, God, we went out to, I mean, this was my communication in terms of me talking, but we're in the bar that we went to, the Treehouse, and I said, can I have a 1 San Miguel, please? And she said, yes, fine. And it didn't come. So 5 minutes later, or 10 minutes later, because I'm not someone to cause a fuss, I said, can I have my San Miguel, please? And she said, oh yes, sorry sir. Then she went away, and he never came back again. And then the guy next, literally must have been 15 minutes now, I said to another waitress, I said, I've ordered a San Miguel, can I please have a San Miguel light? And she said, yes sir. I said, and then went away. And then the guy next to me, Daryl, he says, can I have a Pilsen? And then she comes back 2 minutes later with a Pilsen for him. And I still haven't been served. So I'm thinking, like, have they run out of San Miguel light? If they've run out of it, tell me, I'll order something else. Because sometimes they'll run out and I'll go to the shop, I'll get it or something or whatever. But then still no one came. So I said to the same woman I'd ordered, I said, listen, I have asked now 3 times, I've asked for a San Miguel light. 3 times. Can I please have a San Miguel light? So she said, 3 San Miguel lights. I said, no, 1 San Miguel light. 1. I only want 1. And then she comes back, gives me the beer, and then comes back over and says, your other 2 San Miguel lights are in the fridge. I'm like, no, I don't want 3 San Miguel lights. We carry on serving. A friend of mine orders a San Miguel light, another one orders a San Miguel light. She says to me, your 3 San Miguel lights have gone now. Do you want to order some more? And I'm like, look, I said to Ellen, tell her I am paying for 1 San Miguel light. I've explained it, just explain it to her, because I'm done with this conversation. So Ellen explained it to her and it was fine, you know, it all got sorted out. And I wouldn't mind, but you're just sitting there thinking, God, it's just like, you know, it is. So it happens. I mean, and that probably was me But that's why I go. I mean, I wouldn't in the UK go one. People think I'm being rude, but I mean, when you're saying that one San Miguel, you know what I mean? It's. Is it my accent or is there a higher force at work? Night Jim is coming home. It's end of time. I've had to pay for 2 traffic accidents in my time here. Never my fault. Easier not to complain when the PMP get involved. So just paid. Peaceful life is all I want. Yeah, well, you can get some positive stories here. I'm not going to name the guy. But he was the nice guy I know over here, Irish guy. He was telling me not so long ago he had an accident, and he always carries round a couple of 2,000 or 3,000 pesos in case he has an accident. So he can like say, look, you know, just to clear it, he doesn't want a hassle. But they had an accident. He had offered the 2,000 pesos. The police had been called. The next day, they start phoning him, asking for money. They want this, they want that. So he went down to the police station, you know, to find out what to do next. And the police, same guy was on from the night before, and he went with his girlfriend, and she told him what had happened. And he said, give me the number, and he phoned the people up and said, look, you're not getting any more money out of him. You know, you're lucky to have got the 2,000. You know, we want tourists to come here. If I find out that you're doing that again, you know, we're going to come around, you're going to have a trouble. Leave him alone. You've got your money. He's not giving you another penny. You know, so sometimes, you know, the police are on your side. It's and in fact, was that waitress new? How could she be that off? I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's but it happens. But you laugh it off. You know what I mean? So it's like, because then I knew it'd be okay. But we had an American friend, who I'm not going to mention his name, good friend of mine. He came to Vietnam, and he just had catastrophe after catastrophe after catastrophe. And I don't know why he was eating again. But we went out one night, and we were going somewhere else to watch something. And he was in this bar, and as soon as we sat down, he'd already ordered food. I only went in there for a drink. We'd already eaten. I don't know why he ordered food again. And he said, I ordered a 3-cheese pizza. And I'm like, what, again? I says, yeah. He said, but I'm worried I'm going to get 3 cheese pizzas. And I said, well, you ordered by yourself. Did you tell her 1? He said, yeah. I said 1. And then lo and behold, 2 minutes later, 3 cheese pizzas came out. So he just said to people, tuck in. But there was in a tourist area, you know, in Vietnam. And one of our other friends complained about his meal. You weren't getting a refund there, you just had to accept it. They'd cooked the 3 pizzas, that was their mistake. But it's different here, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, after we left the bar, we all went to another bar, and like straight away we did a kitty. You know what I mean? So it's like we're all paying for each other's drinks anyway. That's the way we do it. You know, we were out all night and we just had a kitty, and we split it 4 ways at the end of the night. So I don't have a problem paying for people's beers. You know, it's like, you know, but that when it's like that, you think, no, I'm having this right. I've you know what I mean? It's not my mistake. And regardless of my accent, you should understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But I didn't complain or anything. I'm just saying these are examples of you do get a lot of communications over here. Jackstar laughing. He said the time, Juan San Miguel, I know him well. Yeah. It wasn't him, it was his lighter brother. Dango in the Philippines, the more about its shootings, robbers, and the more I think I'm changing my mind about moving there. Yeah, well, I was totally oblivious to this shooting. I didn't know about it until I came into the chat. RLV, it's not the accent, it is how you talk fast. Relax, you are in the Philippines. Yeah, always talk fast, mate. It's not, but it is the accent. London, Cockney accent, Cockneys talk fast. You know, we say, I'm not trying to insult anyone now, but a lot of the Northerners would always say like we talk too fast. So, well, it's because our brains move fast. Your brains move slow. That's why you can't understand us talking fast. But no, it's a trait of Cockney accent. You know, we talk fast. But I can talk slowly when I'm talking to people in shops, but not. I mean, I tried to do a few videos when I first had the channel, people said talk slower. And he just sounded like I had an accident or something, you know, sounded like I had damage. Yeah, I'm a very relaxed guy. I just talk fast. Jackstar, I take the expats like I did on tours while serving. I take expats like I did on tour. I thought you meant you had a tour company there while serving. Just watch and see other people's actions to see their character, especially when they're drunk. Back in Germany, I was a naughty lad, but learned. Yeah, entirely, mate, you do. And that's why I have very little tolerance for people here, because I'm on the younger side. But again, that's another thing. You notice when I've done, like, you know, John and Joe in the videos, Joe's 44. I think John's about a year younger than me, 2 years younger than me. There seems to be a miscomprehension that, you know, that everyone's in their 70s and 80s. That's why, mate, I thought about when I did that video when I had that trouble with those arseholes. I thought about afterwards. I didn't mention the fact that the arguments I'd had, they'd all been with people younger than me or my age. Because I'm sitting there thinking, God, they're going to think I'm arguing with like 70-year-old men. But there's quite a lot of ex-forces guys here who've done their time, come out and come straight here. So there are a lot of middle-aged expats here. Jerry Stanley, okay, I'm late to the show, so may have missed something. Is the 2 expats who were killed concerning for the expats there, or what's your thoughts? I didn't know 2 expats had been killed. I thought 1 expat had been killed. Not concerning to me. I don't know the views of the other expats. I mean, I take a very languid view on things like this. I mean, I don't know a single expat who has been shot, stabbed, or killed in the Philippines, thankfully. But I know 4 or 5 who have died in road traffic accidents. Maybe even 6. And I know several who have died of medical emergencies, i.e. heart attacks and things, that they almost undoubtedly wouldn't have died in a country with a better healthcare system. So I take it that view. I'm far more concerned, or would, you know, about car accidents and things than being shot by a Filipino, you know. Because statistics, but it doesn't work that way, does it? People don't worry about statistics. People are terrified of getting flights, when statistically it's the safest way to travel. So I don't know about other expats, what they feel, but me, there would have to, put it this way, I would be a lot more worried. I'm not knocking the United States. I'm merely quoting facts. I mean, you know, you are far more likely to be shot in the United States going to a shopping mall in a mass shooting than you are in the Philippines. And I was never worried about being shot in a shopping mall in America. So I find it extraordinary when you have Americans, I've had it in chats before, saying they're not going to come here because they've heard of the crime, or, you know, it's too dangerous. Well, I think we live in a country which has more mass shootings than anywhere else in the world. I mean, but there you go. Jackstar, took me 2 years of prison and lots of other things. But when you're 18 drinking Becks at 33p a bottle, you tend to overindulge. I'm still amazed you got the full stretch, mate, the full 2 years. Very rare they give that. You must have been really, it's very rare they let you stay in afterwards. So you were unlucky on one count and lucky on another. The plastered finger, I had an incident when I first arrived. I was crossing the road and a crossing. Trickle stopped. I started crossing, tricycle overtook and nearly hit me and stopped. 4x4 overtook both. Peso had a work. I had an instant when I first arrived. I was crossing the road on a crossing. Trickle stopped. I started crossing. Oh, tricycle stopped. I thought trickle was like the 3 lights. Tricycle overtook and nearly hit me and stopped. 4x4. Peso had a work. Peso and I are now friends. There you go. You lost me a bit on that one, but you're okay though, you didn't get hit. Brian Dawson, if they can't understand you, then the Geordie accent has no chance. No, I know a few Geordies here, mate, but as Well, mind you, Geordies can talk quite quickly, can't they? But yeah, it's. But you know, I mean, as I say, I do go out of my way to. I'm well aware I have an accent. Adam Fente. Anyway, welcome, Brian. It's always nice when you make it, mate. Adam Fente. Life is all about managing risks. It is risk assessment. You know, you've got to, what is it? Remove, reduce, assess. Risk assessment. Remove the risk, reduce the risk, assess the risk. I feel perfectly safe in Duma. John says, I feel perfectly safe in Duma. Unfortunately, there are incidents, but they happen everywhere. It's not specific for Dumaguete. Yeah, I feel perfectly safe in Dumaguete, but I mean, the reality is you are more likely. Strange thing though, I mean, don't see that many accidents in Dumaguete. I saw a lot more accidents in Petrobon, well, when I lived there, which was a much smaller city. But you often, you know, every night you'd see like a scooter over and that. But people seem to, I think because it wasn't as congested there, people tended to drive faster. So you don't, it's like, you know, in the last 4 or 5 months, I've probably actually seen on the road 3 or 4 instances where someone's lying on the road on a scooter. But I don't go out that much. I know a lot of people who've had accidents, and you often see things on Facebook. Some guy's had an accident, do you know him, he's in the hospital. So I mean, the reality is it is considerably more dangerous driving here on a scooter, statistically, than it would be in the UK. But that's, you know, them's the breaks. That's the reality of it. You know, it's you know, you go with the flow. I mean, yeah, it's just the way it is. I know. I take the view, if it happens, it happens. Cross that bridge when we come to it. Plaster finger, Adam. Flamingo. Flaming Alas. Hello, sir. Hello, mate. How are you doing, Flaming? Nice to see you. Flaming, did I see you yesterday walking into Marina Spatial? Are you tall, over 6 foot? Shh, shh, God's sake, don't give that away. God, Ellen's in the other room. No, you didn't, mate. No, you didn't. I am 6 foot. I'm about 6 foot, but I wasn't in Marina Spatial last night. No, I went to the music quiz, left that at 10 o'clock, and then went to McDonald's, bought my lovely a takeout, and then I was back here by, I don't know, 10:30 or whatever. So no, I wasn't, and during the day I was in all day, so no, it wasn't me. I haven't been to Marina Spatial for, I interviewed Don. I think that's the first and only time I've ever been in there. That was, but no, it wasn't me, mate. But then, funny enough, there is a guy, an American guy called Simon, who could say you look a little bit like me. I'm not really 6 foot though, and he is staying in the Marina Spatial at this time, so maybe it was him. I might video him next time he's on. He watches the channel. He was going to do an interview, but he's a funny guy because he's British. He was born, I think, in Bath. But he's lived in America for the last 25 years, 35 years, something like that. And his accent, my God, it goes from English to American, English to American. He'll start the sentence sounding English. By the end of it, you couldn't sound more American. It really is an accent that jumps and jumps. John Mess says, if anything, traffic is the #1 danger here in Duma. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Yeah, by a long way, it's traffic. Traffic. And pre-existing medical conditions. Yeah. Never felt in danger here. But then again, it depends. I mean, I've been threatened a few times. I mean, I've had arguments in bars. I've talked about it. I mean, some people would be intimidated by that. They would call that. So I mean, it depends on your perspective. But in terms of the Filipino people, in my experience, the drunker they are, the friendlier they are, the poorer they are, they're more welcoming. I mean, we were talking about John like the other day. There was a particular area of town where a lot of expats won't go at night. And I, for whatever reason, when I first got here, I like that kind of place. And I wasn't particularly keen on the trikes. I didn't realise that, a tip for you when you come here, the trikes have to take you anywhere within 2 mile radius, 2 kilometres, for 15, 20 pesos. They're the rules. They're called petty cabs, and they're set fares. So if you just get in the vehicle, that's all they can charge you. But if you decide to get in and start negotiating the fees, it's up to them. They can charge anything. And I didn't realise that was the case. And I used to get really pissed off because the only people who will try and rip you off here are the petty cabs. And I quite like walking. It's never bothered me. And it clears your head. So what I was doing, I was tending to spend a couple of hours up in the North Point area, you know, the hideout and the tiki bar and things, then I'd take a wander down and I'd go to Why Not. This before I knew better, this is when I first arrived. So you walk through basically the rough areas that John and Joe were talking about the other day. And I found when I walked through there to them, people would be sitting there knocking back the red horse and like, hello sir, how are you? Come and have a drink. And I'd be like, no, I'm good. And they'd insist, so I'd sit and have a drink with them. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I also walked to Sibilan, believe it or not, a couple of times when I first got here, which is about 8 kilometres. But I don't know, when I've had a drink, I like to walk it off. And that first night, I didn't realise how far it was, and I walked for a couple of rough areas. And there were a couple of instances where people ran past me, and you can feel the footsteps coming up, and I'm getting ready to I'm thinking, right, I'm just going to throw a blow, and I'm going to go down that way where there's some lights. But after a couple had run past me in the course of a couple of walks, I thought, no, this place is safe. And it really is. And I say, you know, it's like, you know, you're more likely, I mean, if you walk around Dumaguete by yourself during the day, not many people will say hello to you and be particularly friendly, which is fine, you know, but in city, or they might say hello, in Bekong you might get a few hellos, but in the city, understandably, city life, but my God, you walk around there 2 o'clock in the morning, you will get, you know, drunks like, hello, sir, good morning, and that, you know. I had to get something from the 7-Eleven, some cigarettes, when I was watching the England game the other day. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I went down to 7-Eleven. You got all these kids out, well, teenagers on their bikes. They're all, hello, sir, good morning. These people, when they've had a drink, they're incredibly friendly. I've never once had a Filipino cause trouble with me. And if I did, I'd walk away. You know, I don't, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, anyway, there you go. Adam Fente plastered. I'm lost with that one. No, we've just done that. Just joined, I'm guessing you already covered professor that got whacked, partner for suspect. No, I didn't, partner now suspect. No, I didn't know that. And there you go, you see, partner now suspect. That's a big one, because there was a Marine, an American, I can't remember where that was in the island. He stabbed his girlfriend or wife to death. You know, there's more violence going on. If you know, it's generally the partners. You know, you can't account for that. I mean, that is, but I guarantee you statistically, it's more likely a Westerner with issues who's going to, you know, terminate his partner, and it is the other way around. But no, I didn't know about it until the start of the chat, so I haven't talked about it. Brian Dawson, here in the UK, you are more likely to be stabbed and shot at the moment, especially in London. Yeah, well, it's exactly right, Brian. I mean, I have never felt in danger in London because I grew up there. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Newham, stab rates are massive there. I mean, last time I heard about it, Newham, which is like basically where I grew up, had the highest stab rate in the UK. Someone sent me a thing on it, and that was 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, you know, so yeah, why would I be worried about, you know, Dumaguete compared to Newham? You know what I mean? It is, and that's just kids' arseholes. I mean, I'm talking about Newham. You know, I don't understand how it's gone that way, but it was always a rough place, you know. But not so much knives. Adam Fente, I think there's a greater risk of injury walking on some of the sidewalks, random barbs, broken cement in holes. Best just to be aware of surroundings at all times. Yeah, I fell down. How I did not smash my legs up. I fell down a hole in City Hall. I'm still amazed, because I took a step and I was just gone. I literally had to pull myself out of the bloody thing, but I don't know, I didn't break my legs. And I wasn't drunk. It was, I was actually going, I had got drunk the night before, So I'd left my scooter at the bar, and someone had given me a lift home, and I thought I'm going to go and get the scooter now. And I start off down the road, and there was a brownout. So there were no street lights, and I hadn't really walked down this bit before, but you literally had a whole paving slab had gone, like, size of a manhole cover, and the drop was about 6 foot, and I went straight down that, but landed there, cut my legs scraped them on the wall going down. I'm amazed I didn't break something, but I literally, my hands had to go over the thing to pull myself out, and I got out, and I tell you, it hurt. I thought I might have broken my leg. Unfortunately, a girl I know, Barbie, she went past on a bike, and she said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going up to the run bar to get my bike, so I'll give you a lift." Otherwise I'd have gone home, and I don't think I could have walked it there because my ankle swelled up. But yeah, you're right. That's the most serious accident I've had while I've been here. Flaming, ha ha ha. I think I know. I think you're talking about the port area slum. Yeah. Not really slum. I mean, there's a worse bit at the end. Yeah, walking up and down through there. Yeah, I've been told that's a particularly rough area. I mean, better say it is what it is. John Mesters, Flaming, Luke and Tiago, areas devoid at night as a foreigner. Jackstar, with that shandy southern accent, I can't understand you, pal. I'll let that one go, Jack. I'll let that one go. Shandy fucking accent. What are you talking about? Northern monkey. Flaming Louse. Where's Tenago? Where near behind Robinson's? Tenago is on the other side of the boulevard after that food court. You see, I am lousy when it... Oh, yeah, the place that looks really rough from the thing. Yeah, I've never walked through there because never had the point. There's nothing there. It's just people's houses, isn't it? But I thought that's been... I'm terrible with names. I know very, very few of the barangays around here. I mean, I know the areas to drive down, but I mean, I know Banlad, but I'll say to Ellen, like, where are we going tonight? Because she'll find some restaurant she wants to go to, and she'll say it's in so and so. And I'm like, where the hell's that? I need a landmark, and it's usually like just go to Silliman, turn left or whatever. So I mean, I know the area to drive around, but I'm terrible with the names of the places. I didn't know where John meant. I know where he means now. I didn't know that's what it was called. Flaming, oh yes, I know that area around the bridge. Oh, if it's the area around the bridge, I've walked over there as well. John Mesters, main road is fine, but better not go into the slum there. Yeah, well, I'm not planning to, but I don't know. I mean, do we actually know anyone that's ever been robbed or mugged down there? I mean, why would you have any business going there in the first place? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if someone has been turned over down there, you've got to ask what they were doing there in the first place. Unless you were going to visit someone, I mean, there's nothing there, is there? I mean, the only reason I walk through the other bit is because it's on the boulevard. You've got to get through there to get the thingy. But anyway, Flaming, 3 years ago, a group of underage ladyboys and girls ambushed me at the port area, begging me to come home with them near where the new 7-Eleven is now. Well, you know the question, did you go? Flaming, never actually been into a slum. What do they call them, slums? I tell you what, we went in slums in Manila. I've told the story before, but we got screwed up. We got a taxi, which dropped us off in the wrong place. And then my grab wasn't working and that. So we ended up walking, I think it was like 3.5 kilometres before we flew out to Vietnam, looking for this hotel. And we went through, there is no other way to describe them than slums in Manila, near the airport. And the people were incredibly friendly. Thank God, because I'm carrying all the cases. Ellen, my mate Daryl, he'd hurt his leg, so I was carrying his case. I was carrying Ellen's case, carrying our cases. Otherwise, I'd have done some vlogging, because these are some of the roughest places I've been to. And it's a typical thing. We're asking for directions. Ellen is asking primarily before RLM, talks about my accent, and people kept sending us to the wrong places. So we just went round and round. But my God, some of the places we went through is unbelievable. They were real slums. I mean, it's like, you know, as rough as I've ever seen anywhere in the world. But the people were really nice. They're like looking at us thinking, what the fuck are they doing here? And because I thought to start off, I thought this is not going to end well. He's limping. We're tourists in the middle of nowhere with suitcases and bags and that. I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to get it if anyone does. And because of that, they don't realise that now. Ellen kept saying, why are you walking so fast? Because I was walking off like marching. I'll tell you now, it's because I thought if we get mugged, they're going to go for me because I got the gear. And the last thing I want to do is be in the an anger. I've never told them that before, but I did. I literally walked. I was marching the whole time, so I was ahead of them. And I'm walking through these things thinking, and they're shouting, come back, come back. And I said, I can't. I've got to march. Otherwise, I can't. But I thought, but you realise within about 5 minutes, there was never going to be any trouble. And if there was, I think people would have helped you. You know, it's because they were that bloody friendly. But there you go. Adam Fenton, I almost slipped to my death when I was in Bhutan, Manando. Be careful walking shortly after it rains in the Philippines. Well, I'm glad you didn't, mate. John saying, flaming. Hope you had a good time. Flaming still burns. Could I please have another coffee, Ellen? I don't expect it from you. We're partners in this relationship. You know, if you say no, I won't think anything worse of you. But could you please find the time? Look at this beautiful little girl. Look, she's...
Oh God, she's licking me.
She says she's complaining she's licking her. Of course she's licking you. Put her face up there. But show them the cat. Come a bit closer. They want to see the cat. This is the most beautiful creature, the most affectionate little thing I've ever come across in my life.
You meow, baby, meow.
No, she's so affectionate. Anyway, coffee please, sweetie.
Hold her.
No, I'm doing a live. The reason I made a fuss out of asking that, Ellen was telling me that her family keep asking her, do I treat her like a maid? They've heard all these stories about expats who tell their girlfriend to do this, do that. You know, don't do any housework, don't do any of that. And I said, do I? And she said, no, she's always proud to tell them that I don't. No, I'm very asexual in that sense. You know, I mean, if Ellen didn't work, you know, then I'd probably expect more. If I was giving her an allowance, whatever they want to call it, this housekeeping, I might expect more. But the way I look at it, she's working, I'm not. It's only equal. I pitch in with the housework. John Mesters, flaming, laughing. Hey, Jones is in the house. Lucky, mate. I know I had a fall last year and snapped my rotator cuff tendon. Never the same. Sorry to hear that, mate. I've got the old, did you notice I did get the old TJIs in the end? Kiddish is back. You watching the footy, Simon? England got Argentina tonight. Yes, mate. I will be wandering over to a local bar around 2:30, if not earlier. You see, the bar that shows it, it's a 24-hour bar. They don't really have staff at night. The manager started coming in, great French guy, Alan, for some of the games, but it's 24-hour in the sense. God, I thought I heard rain then. It's the kettle boiling. They just have a security guard at night. And if you want to watch a game or something, he'll put it on for you. So there's no point going there earlier because you'll just be sat by yourself in a bar with a security guard. But around 3 o'clock, it'll fill out. Everyone will come. So they'll probably have some staff on tonight. But because I'm quite in the mood to get in the mood for it. But I might message a couple of mates who are coming over and say, shall we go over earlier? Because I'm starting to think I would like to drink, get in the spirit of things. Placid finger, drunk one night. You drunk, Billy? I never thought you've lowered my expectations of you. I thought you were a clean living guy. Chiang Mai, after stopping for a refresher in one of the biker bars, walk home, no worries. Next night in the same bar, got told the bar girl sent one of the prospects to make sure I was okay. That's very nice of him. Jack Star, well, it's my birthday, 24th, 55 years young, love it, 50s is the new 40s. Come on, England, stuff it up the RGs. Is it really your birthday? When is your birthday? I'm getting confused. On the 25th. The 24th. Is that when the final is? The 24th? No, it can't be. It's before then. Anyway, happy birthday, Jack. We'll speak to you before then. Flaming, clean, healthy looking cat. Cats here lose their tails. Yeah, she's a clean, healthy cat. She's all vaccinated and she's like, you know, up to date on her tablets and her free things. She's a house cat though. We don't let her out. Well, it's not we don't let her out. It doesn't want to go out, thankfully. The dog, we let the dog out, but she has shown no interest in going out, so she stays in. So yeah, she's in good health. Flaming. I know, I've just seen that. Planet Jonesy, great audio, mate. Good, thank you. Thank you, Petal. No. We don't put hot stuff directly on the table, do we?
Well, I don't want to know that.
Well, no. Well, we can move this, can't we? Anyway, thank you very much, sweetie. But we don't put hot stuff on the table.
Oh, come on, you just have to look at it.
It marks the table, and it's not our table. Have some respect.
It's not going to mark if it's just like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be 2 seconds if I didn't put a mat under it, would it? Anyway, there we go. Don't worry, just do better.
It's common sense that you're going to lift it up.
Oh, it's common sense that I'm going to put a mat down, but it's not common sense that you might put the mat down first. I think me does think she protests too much. I think we know who was in the wrong there. But thank you for the coffee, coffee, honey. Oh, Ellen, the live chat has stopped. What do I do? The live chat has stopped. No one's talking to us. I think you've upset them all with the bloody with the mat. Wave, come back in, then people might start talking.
No.
Don't tease them with your elbow. Well, I'm going to knock it on the head now, chaps, if there's no chat. I was happy to keep going. I got my fresh coffee, but I can't talk to an empty screen. What are you looking at, sweetie? Oh, bless her. She's looking very lovely. What brand coffee, mate? No expense spared in this house, mate. Nescafe. Yeah, just Nescafe. Nescafe instant. I'm not a coffee snob. Although I should be. John brought round a coffee from the local delicacies the other day. See, now the live chat's come flying up. It's a weird animal, this live chat. Suddenly we're inundated. And that really was nice. So maybe I should go to the coffee shop in the morning and get a coffee. Excuse me.
Bring me with you.
See, she says things like that. Bring me with you. Take you to delicacies. You're always in bed, pumpkin.
Well, you have to motivate me.
Yeah,
It's cold.
everything's my fault. Always my fault. Daniel Morgan is in the house. Are you going to watch the England game tonight? We can't lose to the RGs. Yes, I'm going, and yes, you're right. We can't lose. Well, we can't lose to anyone. Jack, have you been to the Falklands? Has anyone been to the Falklands? I'll tell you now, they were talking about it today, saying how much it means so much more to the Argentinians, and the average English was not bothered, and the state of our navy, if they invaded it again, we couldn't get it back. And you're thinking, I tell you what, there is no way Argentina is invading the Falklands. You wouldn't have to send a fleet. That place, or certainly when I was in the Air Force, is so well defended. It's got to be the most defended rocks in the world. There's no way they're getting in there. I'm telling you now, unless something has changed drastically. That since the invasion, that place is a fortress. But I don't care about all that nonsense. You know what I mean? It's like, it's done and dusted. I don't want to lose to anyone. So I have no real feeling towards the Argentinians. It was their government. They had a corrupt government, military junta, who forced them into a war. They fed the country with propaganda. And most of the people that fought on the RG side were conscripts. I've got no ill feeling towards Argentinians. For some reason, well, we know the reasons why they got ill feeling towards us, but I fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, water off a duck back. There are certain countries we played I have got ill feeling towards. I'm not going to mention them, but, I just don't want to lose to anyone. I tell you what, I've got more ill feeling towards the Spanish than I do to the Argentinians. because of the bullfighting and the shit they do in the fiestas. I am an animal lover. Now, I've no doubt they probably do bullfighting as well in Argentina. But yeah, so yeah, Spain has always been one of my least popular European nations. Planet Jonesy, I love Makona. Yeah, I've since I moved here, since in Thailand really, I got used to drinking shit coffee. I don't mind it. You know, back in the UK, I always had the filter coffee going all the time. I used to love it. There was a fair trade Colombian I always used to have. It was can't think what it was. A fair trade one, and they did a Colombian dark blend, and I can't remember what the other one was, but I loved that. I only get fair trade coffee, but those days are gone now. I mean, the first thing I do when I get back to the UK, I always go straight to Costa Coffee. Costa Coffee's always been my favourite, and I get a Venti cappuccino. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, Flaming, I think next year I'll move forward with buying one of them Suzuki multicabs, DA17V. Suzuki multicab. Oh, are these the ones that get cut in half? Well, good luck with that. I know a few people that got those. Don't really appeal to me, but I know a couple of people who swear by them. So I don't know what Ellen's expecting. I may buy a car at some stage, but I think she's got it in her head. This will be an argument for the future. Well, it won't be an argument. We'll listen to each other's views and we'll agree I'm correct. But I've shown her a couple of times. There's an MG I quite like the look of, or I can't remember what that Chinese brand is. But to me, living in a place like Dumaguete, I want a small car. My first consideration is parking. I think she's got it in her head we're going to get one of these 4x4s or like, you know, a pickup truck or something. Now, yeah, if we did it eventually move up to the mountains, then I suppose I'd want a 4x4 with big wheels. But why in God's name? Because she says that's too small when I point at cars. I'm thinking, what do you mean it's too small? It's a hatchback and there's two of us. We've got a dog and a cat, and we might occasionally at some stage have an adolescent teenager. I mean, who the hell do you think we're going to put in the bloody car? What?
Going to places and if we have company.
Going to places and if we have company.
Yeah, coming with us and for moving.
So we get a 4x4, a pickup truck, because we might move every 4 or 5 years. Yeah, that's a good reason. No, if we get a car, we're going to get a hatchback, I would have thought. Mind you, your car's nice, John. I mean, I'm not, yeah, but I mean, I don't know, maybe a bit bigger, but I'm certainly not getting a massive pickup truck. Plaster Finger, considering lovely Ellen didn't like the cat when you first found her, ninth cat, not Ellen. She loves it, mate. It's her baby now. It's her baby. And Kayla loves her as well. They don't like the dog. The beautiful little dog who's licking my legs as we speak and licking my feet. They're both full of love. I tell you, I come out the shower and they're fighting. I don't know what it is, but they're obsessed with licking me when I get out the shower because they like watching me have a shower. I don't know if they like the taste of the water or it's a maternal thing or paternal that they've got. But yeah, it's like, God, you have to move them aside. They're determined to lick me dry for some reason. But yeah, I understand why they like. I mean, listen, the dog can't understand he's underneath, but yeah, I mean, Pencil is by far my favourite, but I do love them both. It's just that he's just so volatile. Ellen can't get it, you know. He likes to jump, he likes a bit of rough and tumble, he gets excited. But that's just what puppies do, for God's sake. Flaming, rip out the back seats and put a mattress in there and cruise around. I don't know what you're going to do with a mattress, mate. I mean, I was going to make a joke then, but I'm not going to. It might be inappropriate. What do you? She's saying, look at the kitten, look at the kitten. I'm doing a live stream.
She was looking at you.
Well, of course she was looking at me. She loves me. I'm not looking. I'm doing a live stream. God, Ellen goes out of her way to distract me when I'm doing these things. Flaming Night, Tinder will be the treasure map. Okay, so that's what you're going for, is it? Well, as long as you haven't got fucking rope and a bloody masking tape and that in the back, then you'll be all right. Otherwise, you get done for going equipped. Then go Philippines. Can you buy coffee beans? Yes, you can. You can. I don't know if there's any specialist coffee shops in Dumaguete, but yeah, certainly LP Hyper, which is a supermarket that we go to most of the time. They've got a grinding machine there, so you can buy the coffee beans and take them home as coffee beans, or you can put them in, grind them yourself in the shop. Yeah, you can get better quality coffee. Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, John Message is saying they're a death trap. Flame is saying scooters are worse. Yeah, they are. They are. I don't think those things are necessarily a death trap. Flaming, there's a car park near FoodNet that charges 2.5k a month where I can store it when I go back to Oz. Is there? 2.5k a month? I'll store it for you, mate. Don't worry about that. I'll do it for 2k. And I'll even turn the motor over for you once a week. I'll take it for a spin. Why don't you just rent it to me while you're away? Planet Jonesy, can't get my Moccona here in Bali. I get it from Aussie friends, bring it for me on their holidays. Yeah, I've no idea whether you can get that here or not. It's not a brand so I've never really looked into it. Planet Jonesy, a coffee and a cigar, mate, go well together. Cigars are cheap here too. Yeah, I've not really seen many cigars over here. I do like a cigar, fond of a cigar, but not with a coffee. No, with a brandy or a port. I don't know. My mate, he's a very good friend. He might watch this. I'm not having a go at him, but he did amaze me the other night when we were out and we were in a restaurant, because he always asks for things that you think, why would they have that? And it's like, we finished a meal. It's a typical like Filipino restaurant bar. And he said to me, do you fancy a port? And I'm like, after we finished the meal, because we'd had a chocolate dessert, a chocolate pudding with ice cream. I'm like, there's no way they have got port in a bar in thingy. And he asked them, he said, have you got any port? And they didn't have it. And he's like, why don't you have port? I mean, I was amazed he thought for 1 second they would have port in a resto bar. If they'd had a glass, but yeah, you'll get your whiskey and you might get a cognac, but you're not going to get a glass of port in your typical Filipino bar. Might as well ask for a cheese plate to go with it. You're not going to get that either. Can you stop biting me? I've got the dog playing with me on one side and the cat playing with me on the other. So if you see my hand going fast like it is now, that's what I'm doing. Don't get carried away, fellas. Flaming, if I had the budget, I'd get a Jimny or them Toyota Rays. Those Jimmys are very, very popular over here, and they hold their price. And in Fente, for hot coffee, I just stick with Nescafe since I'm going to add milk and sugar. Yeah, well, I don't add milk and sugar. Listen, I just drink it to have something wet. You know what I mean? I don't savour the taste of this. It wakes me up in the morning.
Hey! No, stop it, guys!
Get off, Case, get off.
Come here, love.
Look, I've got her now. I've got her. God, look, Daddy will rescue you. Come over here. You come over here. And you leave her alone. I'll punch you on the nose. I won't really. Stop it.
Come here, baby pencil.
That wasn't a punch on the nose, that was a little clout on the ear. Stop it.
Baby pencil, come here.
Did
he hurt you? Baby pencil.
Cats are tough.
Love, look at us.
Yeah, Ellen, God, Lord, woman, I'm trying to do a lie. I'm trying to really take you saying, look at this. I'll turn the camera around so they can see it, and then you'll just pull away.
No.
See, the cat was licking her face. You know, she wants me. Look, there you go. She likes to. She likes to lick us, and Ellen likes being licked. Da-dum. There we go. Right.
Oh God. Stop it.
You've got a dirty mind, woman. Anyway, Adam Finney, for hot coffee, just stick with Nescafe. Yeah, no, I got that, yeah. But my iced Americanos, I like going from a fresh coffee, fresh pulled espresso on ice. It's better to taste the notes. Yeah, I tell you what, though, if we would have a problem if there was a place here that did egg coffees. I think if there was an egg coffee place, we'd go quite regularly, wouldn't we? Of course, yeah. That's a business over here. They should do egg coffee. Flavouring Bus. When I was in Bali, I was smoking 5-pack of Don Juans in the wooden box. Yeah, I like a cigar, but only. I did go for a stage back in the UK when I stopped smoking, and I went onto the old Hamlets. But yeah, no, I only want a cigarette or a cigarette when I drink alcohol. And I've had to have a couple. I never smoke in the house. Do I smoke in the house? Why are you hesitating? I have never, ever smoked in this house. We've been here a year. Why do you not answer?
Ever? Not ever? Not even once?
In this house?
Yeah.
When?
So, that time when you pick up Greg.
See, here we go. Here we go. This is a typical example, right? There was one time when we picked up Greg next door, and Daryl and Agnes, who were friends of ours, picked them up, and Greg came in, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We just picked up, he'd arrived. So I said, can I interest anyone in a White Russian? So we had a White Russian. Daryl said, do you mind if I smoke? I said, no, mate, go for it. He had 2 or 3 cigarettes. I don't know how many he had. I never had one. And every time it comes up in conversation, Ellen says, that's the time I smoked in the house. I didn't smoke in the house. Daryl did. I did not have a cigarette. I have never smoked in this house. Ever. And that's the one instance he comes back to. We've had this conversation 1,000, well, not 1,000, I've told you a million times not to exaggerate. I didn't smoke. I have never smoked in this house. I don't smoke if I'm not drinking. And if I did smoke, I'd go outside. You know, it's we've got a patio area, it's covered. But if a friend asks, like the other day when John came round, he said, I want to go. I said, it's all right, you can smoke in the house, but I don't do it. But he went outside anyway because we didn't have an ashtray. So, I mean, no, I never have. I can't believe you're bringing that incident back again. I knew you'd refer that. I don't know how many times I've got to tell you that was Daryl smoking. I'd admit if it was me, I'd say it. I'm an adult. It's my house, our house. I don't have to go outside. You know, I would have said to you, yeah, I had one or I had 2 or whatever, but why would I lie? Where are we now? Flaming, you mean making the Philippines bang bus out of Suzuki? Yeah, that's exactly what he means, mate. Yeah, exactly, a bang bus. 1,000%. I've got so many lined up, but getting them to and from my place is a headache. So he's going to get a bus with him. I think you're one of those
Like
Westerners that the governor's been talking about, mate. I don't think you're going to fancy your chances there. He's saying, and I'm not agreeing with this at all. He has so many girls on Tinder when he sees here, rather than book a hotel and go from there to there and that, he's just going to get a mattress and put it in the back of a Suzuki, get the seats taken out. So, yeah. Ellen is putting a disapproving face, as am I. We expected better from you, Flaming. Also, I've learned most expats that I've seen that buy a car don't really go back to scooters. Scooter riding makes me dirty. John Messers, I barely use the car. A scooter is so much more convenient going into the city. I mean, and parking alone is a nightmare. Yeah, that's the big one. Plastered finger, a bit of a domestic. Yeah, that's probably the worst argument we've had in 3 years, don't you think?
Remember this?
What do you want to wash our dirty laundry in public?
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, exactly. Flaming. Every morning Flaming, I can imagine in and out of downtown in a car would be a nightmare. Yeah, that's why I've never bothered getting one. I don't know when we'd use it. We'd only use it when it rained. I mean, there's been... Last week, there was a time where I potentially missed playing pickleball because there was rain. I didn't want to play anyway. I mean, John knows that. I was only going to go and make numbers up. But even if I'd have had a car, it rained so heavy the court shut, so you couldn't play anyway, even though it was indoors. So, I mean, no, literally, there's only been one time when I wanted to go and watch the boxing with Dingo, and I went anyway, while I got wet. You know, it's never stopped play in the 3 years I've been here, so there really is no point. But we will get one at some stage, not because it's sport or anything, but just to go up and get stuff and go for longer journeys and things. You know, once we're more settled here, then we'll get a car. But there's not really a great parking space in this house, and so I don't see the point. But Flaming, every morning I get an iced Americano and an iced latte delivered from Pick Up Coffee. Well, there you go. Here I smoke them 5-pack flavoured cigars from a kiosk in Robinson's. So are you actually here, Flaming? I get. Oh yeah, you are. Of course you are, Flaming. I'm sorry, I get very confused. Yeah, of course you're the guy that lives in Bannylad, aren't you? Of course you are. Yeah. Dumaguete, Bannylad. Yeah, I do apologise. I thought you were in Australia, but yeah, I'm an idiot. Planet, I'm in Sonar Cigar Club every Monday, a couple of hours talking shit, having a beer, smoking cigars, a great bunch of guys. I don't think we have a cigar club. I don't think we have a cigar. Case, I'm telling you now, boy, we're going to fall out. In the words of the Wanderers, leave the cat alone. Flaming, I was in Sonar as well. Oh yeah, because Planet's Jonesy's in Bali as well, isn't he? Yeah. Blasted. Oh wow, I meant the cat and dog. Planet, our bar right on the beach near the big cavefish. Flaming, no. Not in Bannylad anymore, near Henry now. Oh yes, right, but you were in Bannylad at one stage, yeah. Oh, you used to be mates with Scott, didn't you? Do you still see Scotty boy now? He's living in Dumaguete. I'm playing with a dog. He's getting very boisterous. Do you want to come and watch the football with me later? I don't think I'm going to take her. I took him over to watch the football the other day. He was all right. He wasn't badly behaved. Fortunately, one of my mate's girlfriends took him for a walk because he was getting a bit bored. But the cat's just looking at him thinking, what the hell are you doing, you nutcase? He's rolling all over the place trying to bite me. Flaming, speak every now and then with him. Right. I've not watched his channel in a long time, and I'm not going to get back into it because we had someone wouldn't let it go, expat crap the other day. But I understand through the grapevine he's here long term at the moment, isn't he? But I've not seen him out. Although he keeps coming to, it keeps going sideways, doesn't he? I keep getting asked questions about him. Someone actually asked me the other day, I'm not going to say, did I have a problem with him live streaming in the bar? And I was like, no, of course I don't, it's not my bar. It's like, but I could have if you're watching this, Scott, which I know you're not, I could have had a stop put to it. I could have said, no, this is Speaking of Asia's bar. But no, I said to staff, I said, he's all right, I don't mind. There's nothing to do, you know. I don't even live stream from there anymore.
Ow! Ow! Pencil? Stop it. You're hurting me.
There we go. Right, I'm going to knock it on the heads now, I think, fellas, because the chat has stopped again. Unless there's a light flurry, because we're nearly at the 2 hour mark now. Flaming, I've really stopped watching most PH vloggers. 2 years ago, I'd watch them all. Yeah, most people are the same, mate. Once you live in here, there's not really a lot of point. The plastered finger, the dog is trying to bite you in play. The cat is plotting your overthrow. Yeah, I know, cats are, yeah. No, the dog is enjoying. No, the cat's not playing overthrow. Some cats are, though. Flaming still follows Scott, though. Planet Jonesy, ciao, mate. Adam Fenty, going to head out for tonight. Good to catch you live, guys. Take care and good night. Yeah, thanks all of you for watching. Jack, I don't know if you're still there, brother, but thank you so much for the incredibly generous super chat. Always appreciated. Yeah, I'm going to got to finish my bloody quiz. Going to be a tough day tomorrow because I've got the quiz in the evening. I've got a mate coming round to check the generator at 7 a.m. He's an early riser, and I thought that's perfect, that is, because if I'm going to be on the pop from like 2 a.m. onwards, shall we say, it's very easy to spend the whole day there drinking, and I don't want to do that because of the quiz. So I purposely set it up that he'd come down early, so I've got to leave to go back and get the meeting to look at my generator. Yeah, but I think I'm going to spend the day sleeping. So I've got to get the quiz finished before I go out. You are still here, Jack, right?
Keys.
Flaming says, later guys, all take care. Plastered says, night Simon, have a great night. Yeah, good night Billy. Have a nice time. See you in Jan, says Dengo. Yeah, see you later, mate. Looking forward to it. Say, Jack's still here. Take care, Jack. Glad you're still here, mate. And thanks again for the super chat. Adam, see you again, pal, soon. Yeah, I'm going to log out now, guys. Thanks for everyone. As I say, it's not an exaggeration to say You make this possible because you do. I couldn't do a live chat without you. So all that's left to be said is, come on, England! And if you haven't liked the channel, if you haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, whatever you're doing, stay safe and be lucky.